Across the annals of human conflict, some forces have redefined the very meaning of terror and conquest. Imagine the devastating sweep of Genghis Khan's legendary horsemen, whose relentless campaigns orchestrated a staggering 40 million deaths.
Leaving an indelible mark across two vast continents, forever altering the course of civilizations with their unmatched might.
Then, fast forward to an age of precision, where a single, decisive bullet brought an end to the reign of the world's most wanted terrorist, a stark contrast to ancient warfare executed with surgical accuracy in Pakistan.
Journey back again to the chilling spectacle atop ancient Aztec pyramids, where ritualistic power led to the unthinkable, a staggering 80,000 beating hearts, legend claims, ripped from living prisoners in a single brutal ceremony.
These are but glimpses into the most formidable forces history has ever known. Prepare to uncover the stories of the 12 deadliest military units whose strategies and impact reshaped the world. At the dawn of the 13th century, a storm brewed on the eastern steppes, heralding the arrival of Genghis Khan and his formidable Mongol warriors, poised to reshape the world. They emerged as arguably the greatest war machine of the entire Middle Ages, an unstoppable force born from the harsh realities of nomadic life. Mounted on their sturdy, tireless steppe horses, each warrior was an extension of their mount, wielding the devastating composite longbow with unparalleled skill and precision. These nomadic conquerors swept across vast swaths of the globe, establishing dominance from the ancient lands of China all the way to the distant frontiers of Eastern Europe. Their campaigns were marked by truly innovative and deceptive tactics, famously employing feigned retreats that lured unsuspecting enemies into deadly ambushes. These strategic withdrawals were often followed by devastating surprise sieges and lightning-fast cavalry maneuvers designed to completely encircle and overwhelm their foes. The Mongol doctrine embraced total war, a brutal philosophy where entire cities faced a stark choice: immediate surrender or utter annihilation. The relentless Mongol campaigns left an unimaginable trail of destruction, accounting for the deaths of approximately 40 million people across their vast empire. A chilling testament to their ferocity came in 1258, during the infamous fall of Baghdad, where the Mongols exterminated up to 2 million inhabitants in just a few harrowing days. So profound was their reputation for ruthlessness that often cities would surrender without a single fight, paralyzed by fear at merely hearing that the Mongol horde was approaching. This Mongol terror, however, was no random act of savagery. It was a meticulously calculated strategy, with Genghis Khan himself understanding that cruelty served as a potent psychological weapon. The tales spread far and wide, horrific descriptions of piled skulls, or enemy chiefs wrapped alive in carpets and brutally trampled to death by galloping horses. These gruesome legends of their unmatched brutality traveled far faster than the army itself, effectively breaking the morale of their next targets long before the actual attack even began. "I am the punishment of God," an assertion that resonated deeply with those who witnessed his devastating power. Indeed, his warriors forged an empire of unparalleled scale, cementing their legacy as one of the deadliest military forces ever to stride across the pages of history. For nearly 3 centuries, between 900 and 600 BC, the ancient Assyrians forged an empire that brutally dominated the vast expanse of the Middle East. They established what history recognizes as the very first permanent professional standing army, whose disciplined legions were a force unlike any seen before. Hailing from the Fertile Crescent of Mesopotamia, now modern-day Iraq, these formidable warriors pioneered advancements in warfare that revolutionized the battlefield. They were the first to deploy iron weapons on a massive scale, equipping entire legions with stronger, more lethal armaments, alongside heavily armored cavalry. Their innovations also included sophisticated siege engines, ingeniously designed to systematically dismantle even the most formidable city defenses of the ancient world.
Yet their dominance wasn't solely a product of technological superiority. It was intrinsically linked to a calculated, deliberate policy of extreme brutality in their campaigns.
The Assyrians became masters of psychological warfare, spreading an icy wave of panic and despair by publicly flaying captured foes alive. They gruesomely displayed their victims' skins upon the towering walls of cities that dared to defy them, a chilling spectacle designed to break all hope. Ancient cuneiform inscriptions, proudly carved by the Assyrians, serve as chilling testaments to their campaigns, such as King Sennacherib conquering 89 fortified cities and 820 villages.
In a single devastating campaign, King Sennacherib systematically deported a staggering 28,000 prisoners, relocating entire populations to break their will.
Following each brutal victory, the Assyrians would erect ghastly monuments, mountains of severed heads, and macabre pillars constructed from the skulls of their defeated enemies.
Far from random savagery, this horrifying cruelty served a profound strategic purpose as the overwhelming psychological terror swept ahead of their advancing army. This dread was often enough to break the spirit of resistance before a single arrow was loosed, compelling countless cities to surrender immediately and unconditionally.
They were desperate to avoid the unspeakable, horrific fate that befell those who dared to defy Assyrian might, including the systematic destruction of sacred temples.
They uprooted and deported entire conquered populations, demonstrating that they spared neither the venerated gods nor their devoted peoples from their wrath.
This was not mere barbarism. This was the cold, calculated application of terror elevated to the level of military science, a precise instrument of control and domination.
Emerging in the 4th century BC, a new force would redefine warfare. Alexander the Great, a visionary military genius, forged and commanded what would become arguably the most feared and effective military unit of antiquity, the Macedonian phalanx. At its formidable core lay the heavy infantry, armed with the iconic sarissa. These weren't mere spears. Stretching an astonishing 4 to 6 meters in length, these colossal pikes created an impenetrable hedge of steel.
Shoulder to shoulder, in a meticulously drilled formation of up to 16 rows deep, the phalanx advanced with chilling precision, its forest of points impaling all who dared to stand in its relentless path.
This terrifying frontal assault was devastatingly combined with elite cavalry units executing the infamous hammer and anvil tactic, where the phalanx held the enemy immovably.
Through this innovative and relentless strategy, Alexander systematically dismantled the colossal Persian Empire, conquering vast territories and shattering its once invincible power in less than a single astonishing decade.
The legendary Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BC epitomized their unparalleled prowess, as Alexander's forces faced a Persian army estimated to be 5 times their size.
In that epic clash, an unimaginable testament to their efficiency, only around 100 Macedonians fell, while Persian losses soared into the tens of thousands. Indeed, Alexander the Great never once suffered a defeat in battle.
Over an incredible 8 years, Alexander's forces marched over 20,000 kilometers, extending their dominion from the sun-baked lands of Egypt all the way to the distant, mystical borders of India, forging one of history's largest empires.
Yet the true secret to this unparalleled success wasn't solely found in tactical brilliance or superior weaponry. Alexander inspired an almost fanatical, unwavering loyalty and devotion from his hardened soldiers. A powerful legend recounts that during a grueling march through the scorching desert, when water was agonizingly scarce, his men offered their precious, meager supply to their leader. In a profound gesture of solidarity, Alexander poured the water onto the sand, choosing to share his soldiers' thirst rather than quench his own. This deep, shared spirit of sacrifice and camaraderie forged the phalanx into an almost practically invincible fighting force. These were warriors who not only respected their commander, but effectively worshipped him as a living demigod, never once retreating a single step in the face of any adversary. Their will was unbreakable, their advance unstoppable.
In the tumultuous 5th century, a terrifying force emerged from the vast eastern steppes, led by the infamous Attila the Hun.
He commanded his formidable Huns, unleashing a devastating wave of destruction across the decaying frontiers of the crumbling Roman Empire.
These legendary steppe warriors were masters of mounted archery, a revolutionary form of combat that saw them unleash torrents of deadly arrows. They could execute this with astonishing precision, even while galloping at breakneck speeds, turning their horses into mobile, lethal platforms.
With their short, muscular builds and fearsome visages, the Huns deliberately enhanced their intimidating appearance.
They engaged in practices like cutting the cheeks of infants to prevent beard growth and promote scarring, further cultivating their aura of brutality and terror. This deliberate cultivation of fear resonated deeply, inspiring unshakable dread in both the seasoned Roman legions and the formidable Germanic tribes they encountered.
Under the ruthless leadership of Attila the Hun, their campaigns utterly devastated the heart of Central Europe, leaving a trail of ruin in their wake. Entire cities were mercilessly plundered or reduced to ashes, and their helpless populations were subjected to horrific massacres without any semblance of mercy or remorse.
The sheer scale of their destructive power was starkly illustrated at the Battle of the Catalonian Plains in 451 AD. Historical accounts from that era tragically report a staggering toll, with up to 160,000 lives lost in just a single, brutal day of relentless combat.
Attila the Hun was a strategic genius, brilliantly harnessing both the power of overwhelming speed and profound psychological terror as his primary weapons.
He perfected the art of appearing where he was least anticipated, striking with terrifying suddenness, and legends even claimed his army sustained itself on the blood of their own horses during punishing forced marches.
An enduring legend eloquently encapsulates the profound and lasting impact of his campaigns. Where Attila the Hun's horse treads, grass never grows again.
This chilling phrase spoke volumes about the irreversible devastation left in his wake, signifying a land so thoroughly ravaged that life itself struggled to return.
His infamous methods of subjugation and punishment included brutal impalement and agonizing crucifixion, reserved for those deemed traitors or dissenters within his vast dominion.
Though Attila the Hun met his end before witnessing the ultimate fall of Rome, for a harrowing period, his Huns successfully brought entire civilized nations to their very knees.
Their reign of terror earned Attila the Hun terrifying, apocalyptic epithets, forever cementing his legacy as the scourge of God in the annals of history.
Following the devastating impact of Attila, we turn our attention to another formidable force, the Order of Assassins. Flourishing between the 11th and 13th centuries, these shadowy figures were a medieval Islamic sect that instilled widespread fear across the land, terrorizing powerful crusaders, revered caliphs, and mighty sultans alike.
Their origins trace back to the visionary leader Hassan-i-Sabah, who established their stronghold within the formidable Alamut fortress in ancient Persia. Here, he meticulously transformed political assassination from mere violence into a chillingly precise and strategic art form. Forsaking conventional armies, the assassins opted for a far more insidious approach, deploying highly trained, infiltrated agents. These silent operatives specialized in the swift elimination of key political and military leaders, often executing their deadly missions with daggers in broad daylight before the very eyes of stunned and powerless guards.
Indeed, the very word assassin is rooted in the name of this fearsome order. Over 2 centuries, their relentless campaign claimed the lives of hundreds of high-value targets, dramatically reshaping the political landscape of the era.
Their victims included no less than 3 powerful caliphs and numerous crusader generals, each death sending ripples of dread across empires. Perhaps the most infamous instance was the assassination of Conrad of Montferrat, the king of Jerusalem. In 1192, he was ambushed and fatally stabbed by assassins cunningly disguised as devout monks, a stark testament to their masterful deception and reach.
No fortress, no matter how impregnable, could guarantee safety from their pervasive influence. The elite guard, the thickest walls, and the most vigilant sentries proved utterly ineffective against their insidious methods, leaving even the most powerful rulers in a constant state of vulnerability. Even the revered Sultan Saladin, a military genius and formidable adversary, found himself compelled to negotiate with this elusive sect. His campaign against them was a relentless struggle against an unseen enemy, leading to a legendary standoff.
The legend recounts that Saladin only agreed to a truce after a terrifying personal encounter. He awoke one morning to find a chilling dagger plunged into the pillow right beside his head. This silent, undeniable act served as the ultimate demonstration of the assassins' unparalleled reach and their ability to penetrate any defense. Such was the terrifying legacy of the Order of Assassins, laying the groundwork for other clandestine forces throughout history, much like the legendary ninjas of feudal Japan. Between the 15th and 16th centuries, these enigmatic shinobi emerged as unparalleled masters of espionage, sabotage, and covert operations. Between the 15th and 16th centuries, the enigmatic ninjas, or shinobi, emerged from the shadows of feudal Japan as masters of espionage, insidious sabotage, and the art of silent assassination. Hailing primarily from the secretive Iga and Koga clans, these skilled operatives served as indispensable mercenaries, hired by local warlords during the era's tumultuous civil wars. Clad in camouflaged attire, they excelled at infiltrating enemy castles, poisoning vital wells, silently igniting arsenals, and sowing chaos and fear. These clandestine agents executed their lethal missions with surgical precision, eliminating high-value targets without a trace, utilizing a range of specialized, unconventional equipment.
Their arsenal included throwable metal stars like shuriken, smoke bombs for sudden diversions, and barrels of gunpowder to dramatically breach heavily fortified gates.
From childhood, ninjas underwent a brutal regimen encompassing martial arts, expert climbing, underwater swimming, deadly poison making, and intense resistance to torture. A chilling example occurred in 1570 when ninja Sugatani Zenjubo ambushed warlord Oda Nobunaga, firing 2 precise shots from an arquebus from 20 meters. One shot merely grazed Oda Nobunaga. The second, however, tragically found its mark, instantly felling his loyal guard, demonstrating the ninja's deadly accuracy. Yet pervasive legend often overshadowed truth, as common folk believed ninjas possessed supernatural invisibility and never drew a sword without it tasting blood. In reality, their unparalleled, rigorous training and unconventional, brutal tactics forged a terrifying, lethal reputation far beyond any verifiable official records. Tragically, in 1581, Oda Nobunaga retaliated, launching a devastating invasion of Iga province, brutally massacring entire ninja communities in a campaign of eradication. From the 14th to the 19th centuries, the Ottoman Janissaries rose as the truly feared elite troops of the Ottoman sultans, their legend echoing across empires. Their formidable ranks were forged through the brutal devshirme system, where young Christian boys from the Balkan territories were forcibly taken from their grieving families. These boys were then converted to Islam, undergoing rigorous, unforgiving training that instilled in them an almost fanatical and unwavering loyalty to the Sultan. Instantly recognizable by their distinctive uniforms, notably their tall, white felt hats, the Janissaries were true innovators, pioneering the large-scale deployment of firearms in warfare. They stood at the vanguard of the 1453 conquest of Constantinople, their relentless assault
ultimately breaching the formidable Byzantine walls after a grueling 53-day siege.
This monumental fall resulted in a catastrophic loss of life, with over 4,000 dead and 50,000 enslaved, forever marking the tragic end of the Eastern Roman Empire.
Later, at the pivotal Battle of Mohawks in 1526, their perfectly coordinated musket volleys utterly decimated the charging Hungarian heavy cavalry in less than 2 hours. The sheer devastation claimed the Hungarian king himself and left approximately 20,000 enemy soldiers fallen on the battlefield, a testament to Janissary firepower. Yet the very power that made the Janissaries invincible eventually paved the way for their tragic downfall, as they grew restless and increasingly resistant to vital reforms in the 19th century. In 1826, Sultan Mahmud II made a decisive and perilous choice to eliminate them in what became known as the Auspicious Incident, an act of brutal necessity. When the Janissaries rose in open rebellion, the Sultan did not hesitate, ordering his loyal artillery to relentlessly fire upon their very own barracks.
Thousands of these once elite soldiers were massacred within mere hours. Ironically, this once invincible unit was completely annihilated by the very empire it had so fiercely served.
Between the 15th and 16th centuries, the awe-inspiring Aztec jaguar warriors stood as the paramount fighting force of a sprawling empire, truly embodying the spirit of their fierce namesake.
These elite troops were instantly recognizable, adorned in magnificent jaguar skins and vibrant, intricate ornaments, presenting a truly terrifying and awe-inspiring spectacle on the battlefield.
Their very presence, coupled with their battle cries, echoed the raw power and predatory grace of the jungle cat, striking fear into the hearts of all who faced them. At the core of their combat prowess was the macahuitl, a formidable wooden club sword embedded with razor-sharp obsidian blades along its edges, capable of inflicting devastating wounds.
Spanish chroniclers, often surprised by the indigenous weaponry, meticulously documented cases where an Aztec warrior, with a single, brutal swing of this weapon, could decapitate a warhorse.
Ascending to the revered status of a jaguar warrior demanded unparalleled bravery, requiring a fighter to personally capture at least 20 enemies alive in the chaos of battle.
This unique combat philosophy prioritized capturing foes for ritual sacrifice rather than immediate kills, thus fostering a culture of audacious hand-to-hand combat and relentless pursuit.
The grim destiny of these captured prisoners awaited them at the summit of the Grand Pyramids, where Aztec priests performed chilling rituals, extracting still-beating hearts as offerings to their deities.
The sheer scale of this practice reached a horrifying peak at the rededication of the Great Temple in 1487, when the Aztecs reportedly sacrificed an unimaginable 80,400 captives over just 4 days.
Witness an endless, harrowing procession, climbing the sacred 114 steps towards an inevitable ritualistic death, a chilling testament to their empire's power and beliefs.
Yet this strategic focus on capture became a fatal vulnerability when faced with the cold, pragmatic efficiency of the Spanish conquistadors, who mercilessly killed from a distance with their arquebuses.
Despite this technological disparity and philosophical clash, the Jaguar warriors proved their mettle, especially during the harrowing Sad Night of 1520, inflicting severe casualties on Hernán Cortés's retreating Spanish forces.
Imagine the profound terror and utter disbelief of Cortés's beleaguered soldiers as hundreds of these formidable warriors, clad in their iconic jaguar pelts, emerged from the pre-dawn mist.
Their guttural roars, like a chorus of enraged felines, filled the air as they wielded their macahuitl, obsidian blades glinting, each capable of beheading a horse with a single swift strike.
Having witnessed the terrifying efficiency of the Aztecs' obsidian swords, our journey now takes us to the sun-drenched plains of southern Africa, where in the early 19th century, a revolutionary military force would emerge.
It was here, under the formidable leadership of King Shaka Zulu, that the legendary Zulu impis were forged, an army that would become one of the continent's most lethal and feared.
Shaka, a military genius, dramatically transformed traditional warfare. He mandated the replacement of the long, throwable assegai with the ikawa, a short, heavy spear featuring a broad, leaf-shaped blade designed purely for devastating close-quarters combat.
Alongside this, he introduced larger, heavier shields, crafted not just for defense, but as formidable offensive tools, used to hook and disarm an opponent's shield, exposing them for the fatal thrust. Beyond weaponry, Shaka completely reorganized his warriors, creating permanent regiments based on age groups, instilling an almost Spartan level of discipline and loyalty.
The training regimen was legendary in its brutality and rigor. Recruits were pushed to their absolute limits, forced to run barefoot over harsh, thorny terrain for distances up to 50 kilometers a day, all to toughen their feet and build unparalleled stamina and resilience. This iron discipline extended to the battlefield, where cowardice was met with swift and absolute punishment. Shaka himself ordered the execution of entire units that dared to retreat.
But perhaps Shaka's most iconic and devastating innovation was the buffalo horns tactic. This brilliant formation involved a powerful central chest to fix the enemy, flanked by two swift horns that would sweep around and envelop the foe in a deadly embrace.
The effectiveness of this tactic was tragically proven at the Battle of Isandlwana in 1879, where a force of approximately 20,000 Zulu warriors, armed primarily with spears and shields, faced a well-equipped British contingent.
Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, the Zulus executed the buffalo horns tactic with perfect precision, utterly annihilating 1,300 well-armed British soldiers in a stunning display of tactical brilliance and fierce courage. This wasn't just a victory, it was one of the most profound and humiliating defeats ever inflicted upon a European colonial army by indigenous forces, echoing through history as a testament to the Zulu impis' unparalleled might.
We now turn our gaze to the formidable Gurkhas of Nepal, Nepalese soldiers renowned throughout history, who first met the British as fierce adversaries. But their unmatched valor soon transformed them into indispensable allies of the British Army.
Their unwavering philosophy is encapsulated in their powerful motto, "Better to die than be a coward." These warriors hail from the rugged, majestic Himalayan mountains, bringing with them a martial tradition forged over centuries of unforgiving terrain and constant vigilance.
Central to their identity is the iconic kukri, not merely a weapon, but a symbol of their lethal heritage. This distinctive, curved machete, with its wide, formidable blade, is legendary for its efficiency in combat.
In the heat of battle, the Gurkhas swiftly earned a terrifying reputation as relentless hand-to-hand combatants, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies with their unwavering resolve and precision.
During the cataclysmic World Wars, an astounding 250,000 Gurkhas loyally fought for the British Empire across various fronts, displaying unparalleled bravery.
Their extreme courage and selfless sacrifice were recognized with an incredible 26 Victoria Crosses, the highest military decoration for gallantry in the face of the enemy, a testament to their extraordinary heroism.
A particularly notable tale of individual heroism is that of soldier Lakshman Gurung in Burma, 1945. Despite having his right hand terribly mutilated by a Japanese grenade, he refused to yield.
With only one functional arm, this indomitable warrior single-handedly faced approximately 200 Japanese soldiers, bravely holding his position until dawn, ultimately killing 31 of the enemy.
Decades later, during the Falklands War in 1982, the mere mention of approaching Gurkha units instilled such dread that Argentine soldiers were known to surrender immediately, opting for captivity over confrontation with these legendary fighters.
The kukri itself is steeped in a chilling legend. Once drawn from its sheath, it is said that the blade must taste blood before it can be returned, a romanticized but powerful illustration of the mysticism and ferocity surrounding this revered weapon. Becoming a Gurkha is not for the faint of heart.
Their selection process is notoriously brutal, with thousands of hopefuls competing for only a few hundred coveted spots, enduring utterly exhausting physical and mental tests designed to push them to their breaking point.
This tradition of service dates back to 1815, when the British, profoundly impressed by the Gurkhas' combat prowess after fighting against them, made the strategic decision to recruit them into their ranks, choosing to ally with rather than continuously confront such formidable warriors.
Enter the U.S. Navy SEALs, a name synonymous with unparalleled operational excellence in the modern era.
These elite warriors of the U.S. Navy have recently soared to global prominence, celebrated for undertaking missions deemed almost impossible.
Meticulously trained to dominate across every conceivable environment, be it the treacherous depths of the sea, the vast expanse of the air, or the unforgiving terrain of land, they stand as the ultimate embodiment of unconventional warfare expertise.
Their ranks are incredibly exclusive, with only around 2,500 active members meticulously chosen from tens of thousands of hopeful applicants.
This selection is a brutal crucible, boasting an astonishing 75 to 80% attrition rate, reflecting its unforgiving nature.
Indeed, merely 1 in every 4 candidates who begins this arduous journey will ever successfully complete the grueling training program, earning the coveted trident.
One of their most defining moments occurred on May 2, 2011, when a small team of 23 SEALs executed a daring, clandestine insertion into Pakistan.
Their objective? Osama bin Laden, harbored within his heavily fortified compound in Abbottabad, a target of a relentless, decade-long global manhunt.
In a breathtaking 40-minute operation, they swiftly eliminated Osama bin Laden and his guards, meticulously gathered crucial intelligence documents, and extracted themselves without a single casualty, a surgical strike that captivated and astounded the entire world.
Beyond high-value targets, the SEALs demonstrated their precision in the dramatic 2009 rescue of Captain Phillips from Somali pirates.
However, the valor displayed in combat is merely a reflection of their almost unfathomably brutal training, epitomized by the infamous Hell Week.
This harrowing 5-day ordeal is a relentless gauntlet, demanding candidates endure constant exercises in the frigid Pacific waters, engage in grueling log carries, and relentless marches through deep sand, all without a single moment of sleep.
It is designed to shatter the weak and forge superhuman endurance in the survivors. By its conclusion, many candidates suffer from severe hallucinations or push their bodies to the brink of hypothermia, pushed beyond all human limits.
Yet, despite access to the most advanced firepower and cutting-edge technology, the fundamental essence of a Navy SEAL remains remarkably primitive.
It is rooted in absolute, unyielding courage, seamless teamwork, and the devastating power of surprise.
Their tactics often involve striking with devastating impact at the most vulnerable moments, whether emerging silently from the dark depths of the water or descending swiftly from the skies by parachute, always leveraging the element of unexpected force.
Don't forget to like and subscribe as we unveil what's next in our exploration of history's elite warriors. Our gaze now turns to the formidable sagas woven across the European continent, uncovering units whose legends span centuries.
Imagine the stark power of Viking runes, not merely etched onto weathered stones, but famously carved into the ancient grandeur of the Hagia Sophia itself, left by northern warriors who pledged their formidable might to Byzantine emperors.
From these icy northern sagas, we journey to the rugged peaks of the Catalan mountains, where a chilling, wild cry of awakened iron once echoed, signaling the fierce resolve of another storied European force. And the solemn, heroic stand of the 147 Swiss Guards, who made the ultimate sacrifice upon the very steps of St. Peter's, defending the sacred person of the Pope against overwhelming odds. These are but a few of the 12 historic special forces of Europe we will explore.